Hi guys! So we are going to be covering how to make a website compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. So there's some things that we can do to help make sure that everybody can access your website. But instead of actually doing this on your project page, I thought maybe it'd be a little fun for today for you to switch it up and to try something different. So I made this weird website. It's just a funny website. I called it ADA Try Me, and it should be in the project part of your teams. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to actually, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do this because I'm going to keep this as the original template. So I just forked mine. Okay, now, let's look at the site. So I added a bunch of HTML in, okay, and I actually added a bunch of CSS in. Okay, so I'm pretending that this is like my website that I made. I am a cute fan enthusiast. So when I open it up, it looks like this, right? So my website's called Cute Animals, and I say, welcome to my cute animal website, and then there's a bunch of information here, and then here are my funny cute animal pictures, okay? So there's a number of things that are problematic about this website, right? And we talked about this the other day, which is, so there's some colors that are off here. This is very difficult to see. The font is difficult, and some of the size of the font is also difficult. So we are going to refer to this sheet right here. So I made this sheet for you it's like a checklist. Okay, so step one, this is how to make your website compliant. So step one, you're going to add a language into your HTML. Okay, so we talked about this before. Go over to your HTML, and you are going to open up this tag, meaning I'm going to click inside of it, and I'm going to add lang for language equals quote en, and then close my quote, okay? And that's not going to change the look of the web page, but I know that when someone with a screen reader comes along, they'll know that this loads up, and they'll know that it's an English speaking web page. So it's also helpful for people who speak other languages because it will, most browsers have the ability to translate a page for them. Okay, so I've already done step one, great. The next thing to do is to check to see if you have, if your colors are problematic, right? If they don't have enough contrast, okay? So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to put this, and we got to open it up in a new tab right here, right? And then you have to grab this web address here and copy it, and this is what you put into this page, okay? Okay, so there are a number of problems here, all right? And actually, this checklist that you have here is actually going to, we can just go through the problems here, and at the end I should have 0 errors and zero here and 0 here. Okay, so we can look at the details. First of all, the images are missing the alternative text. So that's the next step. So let's go through the contrast errors. There's some contrast errors here. Okay, don't worry about these other ones. It doesn't matter that much. One of the features, though, note, is the language, because I've already added the language in. So for contrast errors, there's a number of them. So you want to click them just one at a time. So you're going to practice changing these colors here, okay? So here, it's going to pull these two colors in. So it doesn't like this blue against this purple, and you can see why. So you can make them any color you want, or you can just slide these along here to make it so, to make it into something that you like. Or, you know, let's say that you want to keep the purple background here, but you want this to be a different color. So you can click here, and you can change the color if you want, and see if any of these colors will make it past the pass-fail. So these are still, let's see. So if you make it, even white doesn't pass all the way. So here, I can make the background even darker, and it will pass everything. So you want to make sure that those pass everything, and then what you can do is you can take this and copy it, and you can put that into your background. So in your CSS, I've added this background. So you're going to delete that background, and you are going to put that in your background, okay? And you don't have to use the same colors as I am using. You use your own colors, okay? And then it's making this into white, which I don't love that it's white. Like, I hope that maybe another color would pass. Looks like this one is slightly white. Maybe that makes purple not the best background color, but for now I will just show you this. So this is in my H1 tag. So I can paste it like that, okay? So if I reran this report, right, if I rerun it, actually, you know what's funny is that actually cleared all of my contrast errors because I made the background darker. So actually, this is 0 errors right here, okay? Now there are 3 errors that I have to clear here. So there are 3 errors, and those are for the alternative text. So that comes to my next. Provide alternative text for your images. So we're going to go back into, let's go here. We are going to go back into and find the image tag, okay? And I actually realized that I just provided an alternative text in the first one, right? The cat with hat.jpg, I went in and said alt equals kitten with fuzzy hat and tongue out. Okay, so you're actually going to get that one for free. So for the next one, you want to just open up after the with and say alt for alt equals quote, and then describe it, right? Small pig with red boots, or whatever you want. Okay, it's up to you, right? So if I went and reran this, it should come up with just 2 errors, right? Because it's clearing one of the errors. If I go to details, there's 2 things. I click on there and it tells me, oh, there's 2 images that are missing its heading tag. So you are going to clear both of these. Okay, so I just actually added a little bit more alternative text into these images, and when I rerun it, I should get 0 and 0, okay? So once you get 0 and 0, what I want you to do is I want you to copy this web address, because this right here is going to be proof that you cleared those errors. So if I open this up, anyone can look at this because it's a public page. When I go to grade this assignment, I'm going to be able to see that it's 0 and 0, and I'll give you credit for doing that portion. Okay? The last thing that I want you to do, so you're going to add that into your turn-in on Google Classroom. You're going to like add it in as a link. All right, so make sure that you do that. Now the last thing that you want to do is check your fonts. You want to check your font size, and you want, I'm going to say make sure size is big enough. Okay? So a lot of my fonts, I like chose these fonts based on how script-like they look, right? So here it's very difficult to read. It's very tiny. So you're going to go into your CSS and change the font size here. And I purposefully made it really small. I said text size 15, text size 10. And I realized I said text size instead of font size, but that still will trigger it. So you can make this a little bit bigger right here. And when I refresh it, it should still respond. And I wonder. Oh, okay, so it does need to be font size. So I will change this on your project so you don't have to do this, but I should have had font there. So you're going to make this all bigger. So you can make it 60, whatever it is. Make this one bigger. It should be all above, I'll say 30, okay? And this one's super tiny. And the other thing is I have put a font into the paragraph tag that is not appropriate for what you need to do. So this right here is a serif font. So even if the size was really big, like, 30, it still is very difficult to read, okay? So I want you to go back in and grab a Google font. Remember, you can do it this way. Oops, Google font. Right here. Grab this and click on the categories of sans serif or monospace. And one of these should be what you put into your project, okay? So remember, you can grab this, you say select this style, take this, you can select a number of them if you want, take this and go back into your index page. And I actually put a little link right there. It says link your Google font below, so go ahead and do that. Go back here, grab this, copy that, and then you are going to put that into your CSS. Okay, so we're going to take out this font family of Good Vibes. Okay, you can keep it in H1 and H2 because they are heading tags, but let's take it out of the paragraph tag because it's difficult to read that way. Okay, so there's that. And then of course change your H2. It's very, very small right there, so you're going to go ahead and change that H2. All right, and then you have done everything you need to. So make sure you change you'll only really have to change the font in the paragraph tag, although you might want to change more, but change the font size for all of them. Provide alt text, check your colors, and add your language. Okay, have fun.